and welcome to the first episode of the Nostalgic Pixel. I'm Brian, and today we're going to look at one of my favorite consoles, the Turbo Grafx 16. That's right, we're going to look at 5 great shooters on the Turbo Grafx 16 and PC Engine. Let's take a look. The first game we're going to look at is Blazing Lasers. I remember going over to my friend's house and playing this game. It is a fast-paced vertical shooter on the HU card, or turbo chip. I really enjoyed the music in this game. The guns are a lot of fun. I think the trick with this game, and like many other shooters, is to find the power-ups that you like and then spend your time dodging all the other power-ups that you don't want, as they do come fast and loose. The next game is XRGB. This game is a unique style all its own. XRGB was a rebranded mascot for the Turbo Grafx 16. Hudson took their caveman and turned him in from a platformer into a future cyborg and a shooter. This has 90s attitude all over it. The sunglasses really sell it. Love the background scrolling in this horizontal shooter. The character and enemy designs are great. There is so much personality in this horizontal shooter. It is a part of a subgenre called Shoot-'em-up, and personally I enjoy these games as they really have more charm in their design. It is a nice change from another spaceship shooter. This is a go-to for me on the Express. The soundtrack is great. It's one of the things that really helps a shooter is a good soundtrack, and this one stands out for me. This game also later got a sequel on the CD system. I have had the chance to play my friend's copy. Also, I picked up a copy on the Wii Virtual Console a few years back. Of the two versions, I would still say that this HU card version is my favorite over the Super XRGB. The rockabilly music is cool. I just love this chiptune music that is in XRGB. On to the CD games and the PC Engine. Star Parodier was released only in Japan, and it is great to play on the Turbo Grafx and PC Engine CD system, as this is the first console to use CDs and there is no region locking. Also, while the HuCard games are great on the system, the CD games really are the cream of the crop. There are so many more games. This is another Cute-em-up, a parody shooter. It felt more like, to me, a must-play on the PC Engine, as you could play as the PC Engine itself and Bomberman. I just really love the idea that you can actually play the game on the system as the system in the shooter. I wish there was other games like that for the Super Nintendo or the Genesis or the NES or Saturn. Because of that, I just really had to play it. Also, when I did play it, I found that I wasn't too bad at it, and that was also an easy way for me to enjoy it. I found this game is fairly forgiving to people that are fairly new to this genre. It's a lot of fun. I love picking up the upgrades and throwing out HuCards and CD-ROMs at everybody. I almost always play as the PC Engine, although Bomberman is pretty cool. And that you can play with the ship from Super Star Soldier is pretty nice, as it is a parody of it, I believe. This is just one of the great ones too. It's because it's on CD. It takes advantage of the fact that it has this awesome CD-ROM audio soundtrack that it can add to it, which is really cool. The next one is Gates of Thunder, another CD-ROM game that was also the pack-in for the Turbo Duo in North America. This horizontal shooter has a great soundtrack and requires memorization and quick reflexes. With this game, you have 3 types of guns, and figuring out which ones you want to use at certain times is key. I'm still grinding my way through this one, but I love popping it in for a turn or two every so often. This game is another CD-ROM game that really shows off the Super CD-ROM with the extra memory that really helps push the game's graphics. Like all shooters, don't get hit and don't lose your power-up. The music keeps me coming back. I also love all the scrolling. This game was on my radar growing up, but while I have a friend with the Turbo Grafx 16, I didn't know anyone that had the CD-ROM system. The final game we're going to look at is Lords of Thunder, most commonly referred to as the spiritual successor to Gates of Thunder. Growing up, I had a Sega CD and knew about this game. I thought then, as though I think now, that the Turbo CD version is more capable than the Sega CD version and that it has an increased color palette. Although I think they both look great and they are fun. I wish I had picked up the Sega CD version back then, but I'm glad I picked this one up. This is another amazing, memorable soundtrack. Also, while the game can be challenging, you get to choose which level you want to play in whatever order you want to play them. This makes it great for practicing certain levels, and also, even if you're not that good, get a chance to kind of play around with the game as you're learning it. This game also has the charm of the fact that you're not playing as another spaceship shooter and has a really clear art style of its own. This is another nice change when playing another spaceship. Well, there you go. That's 5 great shooters for the Turbo Grafx 16 and PC Engine. I know I enjoy playing them. What are some of the favorite games you guys enjoy playing? Please like and subscribe and leave a comment below.